Dark Souls is the afterlife to demon souls. While there have been many theories and lore discussions over the years regarding Dark Souls, there is something pivotal that has been overlooked. This revelation will potentially reveal the true nature of reality, especially from the perspective of Dark Souls. We must go back to the beginning, to the game that started it all, Demon Souls. While we could examine previous From Software titles, to map out the overarching worldview of the Souls series, going back to Demon Souls will unveil the most damning discoveries. In this brief video I will explain how Dark Souls is more than just a spiritual successor to Demon Souls but shares the same universe, with evidence that goes beyond Easter eggs, or reappearance of characters like Patches, or items like Moonlight Greatsword. So without further ado, let us increase our insight. Don't you dare go hollow on me. In Demon Souls we learn of where the demons come from and what a demon is. As we listen to this explanation as a refresher, remember what the core premise is for your player character in Dark Souls.
King Allant XII, by channeling the power of souls, brought unprecedented prosperity to his northern kingdom of Boletaria. That is, until the colorless deep fog swept across the land. Boletaria was cut off from the outside world, and those who dared penetrate the deep fog never returned. But Valorfax of the royal Twin Fangs broke free from the fog and told the world of Boletaria's plight. That the old King Allant had aroused the Old One, the great beast below the Nexus, from its eternal slumber, and that a colorless fog had swept in, unleashing terrible demons. The demons hunt down men and claim their souls. Those who lose their souls also lose their minds. The mad attack the sane, and chaos reigns. Valorfax spoke of the enticing power of the demon souls. Each time a demon claims a human soul, the demon's own soul is invigorated by the life force, and the power of a mature demon soul is beyond human imagination. The legend spread quickly. Mighty warriors were drawn to the accursed land, but none have returned. Bjor of the Twin Fangs, Yurt the Silent Chief, Sage Urbane, Skurver the Wanderer, the Sixth Saint Astraea and her knight Garl Vinland, and Sage Frake the Visionary. The colorless deep fog slowly creeps beyond Boletaria's borders. Humankind faces a slow and steady extinction. The deep fog will eventually swallow all lands near and far. But Boletaria has one final hope. A lone warrior who has braved the baneful fog. Has the land found its savior? Or have the demons found a new slave?
As you heard, a demon is a creature who feeds on souls. With it one gains power, but without it their mind is lost. Hold on to that thought while we look at evidence that the setting of Dark Souls is the demon world, or afterlife of the game Demon Souls. To spare confusion, I'll say that the world with Boletaria is the living world and Lordaeron is the land of the dead/demons. As you can see right in the user manual for Dark Souls, it explains the world of the demons. It says, the world you are thrust into is ruled by demons. As you quest to reach your soul, you will view the following game screen. Also it is stated, you are thrust into a world of darkness, a world of demons. It's a place where humans with the dark ring are sent to succumb and transform into the living dead. You are soulless at the beginning of the adventure, and in order to regain your soul, you must emerge from the abyss to reach the land of the living. Let's stop right there and ponder those implications for a bit, while remembering the story of Demon Souls.
We have long awaited you, Slayer of Demons. I am one of the Monumentals. We preserve the fabric of reality. There is something thou needest to know. Once, we too, a scourge of demons faced. In the distant past, under a benevolent rule, the world was united owing to the soul arts. Until a lust for power caused the awakening of the Old One. Across the land seeped a colourless deep fog, and the world faced extinction at the hands of the demons. Thanks be, we were able to lull the Old One back to his slumber, yet only after the loss of innumerable souls, and half the world lost, erased by the fog. In order to mend the fabric of what land still remained, we entrusted 6 elders with 6 precious archstones. 1 to the king of a small yet diligent land. 1 to the king of the burrowers underground. 1 to the wise queen of the great ivory tower. 1 to the chieftain of lost and ill-fortuned souls. 1 to the shaman of the tempest-worshipping shadowmen. And the last to the great giants of the northern lands. The archstones were placed at nodes across the earth. We contained the Old One inside this Nexus and banned the soul arts. Finally, we became Monumentals, half-living sentinels of the fabric of reality. Alas, the other Monumentals have perished, and only I remain. Now it is your turn. You must lull the Old One back to its slumber, and seal it away for all eternity. If not, the deep fog will absorb all that we know. Have you the strength to accept this mission? Yes, I see. That is unfortunate. You should know that you will be imprisoned in the Nexus forever. Just like the poor candle maiden.
Now let us witness crucial evidence that links Dark Souls, Firelink Shrine OST, to Demon Souls Maiden and Black OST. This theme from the Nexus is reprised and incorporated into the Firelink Shrine song. Have patience, listen and be amazed. Fascinating, isn't it? If that wasn't enough, I'll wrap up showing how even in Dark Souls 2, it reinforces the idea that the setting of Dark Souls is in fact the in-between, purgatory-like state. The starter location is even called the Things Betwixt, and the word betwixt is an archaic term for between. In the opening cutscene we see the main character jump into the abyss/vortex, essentially dying in the real world and appearing in Drangleic, which is the same world of Lordran. Please bear with me, as we watch these pertinent cutscenes to really drive the point home, in this excerpt from Dark Souls 2. Keep in mind all we know so far about how demons work in the Souls series, and the comparisons with Demon's Souls and Dark Souls, from earlier in this video.
Perhaps you've seen it. Maybe in a dream. A murky, forgotten land. A place where souls may mend your ailing mind. You will lose everything. Once branded, the symbol of the curse, an augur of darkness. Your past, your future, your very light. None will have meaning, and you won't even care. By then, you'll be something other than human. A thing that feeds on souls, a hollow. Long ago, in a walled-off land far to the north, a great king built a great kingdom. I believe they called it Drangleic. Perhaps you're familiar? No, how could you be? But one day, you will stand before its decrepit gate without really knowing why. Drawn to a flame. Your wings will burn in anguish. Time after time. For that is your fate. The fate of the cursed.
What seems to be the ruckus?
Oh my, your face. The face of the curse.
It's an undead. An undead has come to play. They all end up here. All the ones like you. You spoke to that kind old dear, didn't you?
You're finished. You'll go hollow. Yes, you'll become one of them.
Hollows prey upon men, feast upon their souls. This is the fate of the cursed.
What is your name? At least you know your own name. Here's your reward for sharing. It's a human effigy.
Take a closer look.
Who do you think it's supposed to be?
Think back, deep into your past. Yes, it's an effigy of you. All people come here for the same reason, to break the curse.
You're no different, I should think. Doesn't stand a chance.
Well, you never know. Go through the door and trot along to the kingdom.
But remember, hold on to your souls. They're all that keep you from going hollow. Oh, I'll fool you no longer. You lose your souls. All of them. Over and over again.
As you heard, it explained what a hollow was, a thing that feeds on souls, and without it you'll forget who you are, lose your mind, etc. Sounds very similar to what a demon is in Demon Souls and exactly what you are in Dark Souls 1. Plus, to top it off, your player character is literally in the in-between, the things betwixt. To give a quick example of what would happen, let's take a character like Patches, who looks the same and has identical voice actor in all his appearances. Patches is in the land of the living, Demon Souls game. He gets killed and then winds up in Demon World as he was consumed by a demon, hence his appearance in Dark Souls series, then ends up in Bloodborne because, well, that's a video for another day. However, before we move on, I'll say Umbasa is mentioned, although it's cut content. This shows that in Miyazaki's mind Demon Souls lore was still relevant. Plus, the final game of Bloodborne still revolves around the old ones, and we know Demon Souls revolve around the old one. Umbasa. While I could go on showing more connections of Demon Souls and Dark Souls, I'll stop here. This theory or revelation is to show that comments on Dark Souls only being a spiritual successor is just legal PR talk. For those with the eyes on the inside, can see the overarching story linking the From Software games from Demon Souls to Bloodborne and everything in between and prior. We also know Hidetaka Miyazaki is heavily influenced by Kintaro Miura and his Berserk manga. These blatant influences can be seen all throughout the Soul series. Some notable ones are on screen. I could go into vast details about all the connections, but to avoid spoilers and stay on topic, I'll focus on the most damning one for this revelation. However, if you'd like to see the various Berserk influences in the Soul series, I'd recommend the YouTube channel Ghidra. I'll link their video in the card and or below. Although what I'm about to cover from Berserk happens early on in the manga, I will say a slight spoiler warning. Also, to avoid spoilers, even though manga is ancient, I won't explain who is saying this, only show and read the key moments. Oh no, that's not, but it is count. It's only a small portion, of course. But this is hell. Count the vibrations of your soul are moving you ever closer to demonkind. When your body of flesh expires, your spirit will be whisked away by a wave of demonkind, straight to hell. And you shall wander within that dark swirl of souls for all eternity. Before long, you won't even be able to preserve any final remnants of your individual self. Like a drop of water, you'll simply dissolve, becoming no more than another swirl in an ocean of dark souls. Right here in the Berserk manga we see the inspiration behind the actual name of Dark Souls, and even the theme of holding on to remnants of oneself. It doesn't get more obvious than this, people. Something else I'll touch on briefly from another pivotal work that revolves around these hellish themes, is Clive Barker's Hellraiser. If you're familiar with Kintaro Miura, the creator of Berserk, you'd know that he was inspired by Hellraiser. Even the appearance of some of the God Hand members bear a strikingly similar appearance to Hellraiser's Cenobites. The God Hand members are called angels, but are also known as Demontine too. Sounds similar to a Cenobite. Wondering what that is?
Explorers, in the further regions of experience, demons to some, angels to others.
Now at first you may think I'm mad for making the connection, but look at the shape of the Nexus in Demon Souls. Now let's look at Leviathan, the deity revealed in the Labyrinth, in Hellbound Hellraiser 2. I'll break down briefly what Leviathan is. Leviathan, also known as the god of flesh, hunger, and desire, within the Hellraiser mythology is the deity residing inside the extra-dimensional world known as the Labyrinth and is the overlord ruling the Cenobites, including their masters Pinhead and the Engineer. However, more importantly, pay attention to this part. The abstract entity known as Leviathan appears under the form of a massive, long narrow octahedron floating in the center of Cenobite's home realm, the Labyrinth. From its center, the Cenobite deity is emitting several black beams of light which force those who cross their path to experience past memories. As you can see, it's just another example showing similar imagery and themes of demons, afterlife, and memories. The Nexus which houses the Old One is virtually the same shape of the demonic deity that resides in the Labyrinth in Hellraiser. So now we have come full circle, making the connection back to Demon Souls, showing how the world of Dark Souls could be a hell-like realm. If I were to explain this using our real-world mythology or religion, the world you are in right now could be a hell, underworld, purgatory-like state, and the real world is somewhere else. Think of this place as Lordran, a hell. Or to use another game example, the Otherworld or Silent Hill. Maybe there's more to the fog that meets the eye. However, even if that is the case, don't lose hope. This world can be transformed or transcended. Remember the lessons you learned and never give up. Persevere until victory is achieved and nightmare slain. For more video game lore theories or conspiracies, subscribe to Wetwork Network, and if you already are, thank you. Ring that bell of awakening so you never miss an upload.
Goodbye then. Be safe, friend. Don't you dare go hollow.